Hello, my name is Jonathan Jones. Just call me JJ. Please don't ask me to explain how to pronounce my first name. Nobody can say it. None of my students have ever learned how to say it. Even my wife has not learned how to pronounce my name correctly. Just call me JJ. Welcome to my first video. This is the first video I've ever made, and I'm going to do it in one take because I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm attempting to record on a phone and a laptop at the same time. I think I might be moving around a bit too much here. I just wanted to tell you about my philosophy of teaching, basically how I teach. It's the three most important things when speaking, or if you're learning to speak English, the three most important things that I think are important to prioritize is the word for it, prioritize. First of all, grammar. I'm going to go in reverse order, actually. So number one is not grammar. I'm going to go in reverse order. There's three things that are important. And I'm going to go with number three, which means it's the least important. Number two, kind of important. Number one is the most important. So here it is. Number three, it's grammar. Basically, no one gives a shit. No one really cares how good your grammar is. Let me say it like this. I'm going to tell you a phrase that no one has ever said. No one has ever said this to someone who has English as their second language. No one comes up to you and says, "Wow, your grammar's great." Nobody says that. Nobody is impressed with your grammar. Especially if you're learning English, if it's your second language, everybody is forgiving of grammar mistakes. We're not really going to care or notice if you make grammar mistakes, especially where I live. I live in Vancouver, Canada, and this place has 60% of the population speaks English as their second language. 40% speak it as their first, but 60% is English as their second language. Nobody cares about grammar anymore. If you're studying English and your friends are studying, how are they going to even know you made a grammar mistake? They probably won't know. And if they do, they're not going to stop being your friend because you made a grammar mistake. None of your Mexican friends, Japanese friends, Korean friends are going to say, "Oh, grammar mistake, I'm not your friend now." No one's going to do that. Also, if you have perfect grammar, we might think you're a native speaker. We might actually think more, and we might actually expect more from you, especially if your grammar doesn't show up in your writing. You got great grammar in speaking, but your writing grammar is crap. That's not going to be a good thing for you. All right, so number two, the second most important thing. Again, I'm going in reverse order, so it doesn't really matter about number two. It's in the middle. Pronunciation. When you're studying English, yes, pronunciation is important. It can affect understanding. It can affect how native English speakers react to you and listen to you. I'll give you a couple of examples from Canada because this is where I am. I'm teaching English in Canada, in Vancouver, Canada. Even some of the city names are commonly mispronounced. They're so mispronounced that most people, native English speakers, get stuck and they're not sure what city you're talking about. Cities like Ottawa, that's the capital city. Most people would pronounce it Ottawa or Ottawa or something like that, but there's no T sound in that. We use D sounds, Ottawa. The biggest city is Toronto. There's a first T sound in that one, but not the second one. Toronto. It does affect understanding if you're going to say Toronto or Toronto. I'll use an animal name as a really good example. A commonly mispronounced animal name. It's like a little dog. It's called a coyote. They're very common, even here in Vancouver, all over the United States, they're quite common. It's a coyote. Now, most places would pronounce it something like coyote or coyote, or I can't actually explain exactly how the mistake is made, but unfortunately, that's not the pronunciation. It's not an English word. It might come from Spanish. It might come from a First Nations language, but it's called coyote. Coyote. Again, no second T sound on that. if you get pronunciation correct, if you're really good at it, if you really truly improve that, people are going to know. They're going to know you studied English in another country. Even if you're in Japan or Korea on a job interview and you have a tiny bit of English to speak, if you pronounce city names like Toronto, Ottawa, Los Angeles, if you say that the way they say it, they might actually notice that this person studied English abroad. This person studied real English. Pronunciation will affect your understanding. But of course, the most important thing to remember, the most important thing to learn and forever to focus on is vocab. A vocab means idioms, expressions, slang, phrasal verbs. Vocab affects your thinking. You're constantly trying to think of your original language and then bring it out into English. And that rate of thinking, that from here to here, that's called fluency. And if you know the word, if you can get the right word at the right time, your speaking will be faster, your fluency will be faster, your rate of speech will be faster, people will understand you, and it's just so important. Let's go back to grammar again. Remember when I said nobody has ever said, "Oh, you've got great grammar. Where did you study English? Your grammar is perfect." Nobody's ever said that because nobody cares. But if you have great vocab, that's when people will notice. That's when people will say, "Oh my God, where did you study English? That's the best word to be using." So vocab is the most important thing to study. I can give you examples. Just changing the word, sometimes the word choice, like going from something simple to complicated, like saying instead of special, you can say sophisticated. Or if you want true idioms, instead of saying go to bed, you can hit the sack, which actually just means go to bed. Canadian English, we don't say the microwave oven, we call it the nuker. I kind of want to point to it over here, but I don't want to touch my phone or my laptop right now. And if you want to use the word follow, like follow me on my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram, well, we don't say that. We'll use a phrasal verb. Hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram. So I hope you're doing that right now. I hope you're hitting me up on Instagram, and I hope you continue to follow me. And I hope you hit me up on my YouTube channel, which I haven't created yet. I should do that. One last note, vocab. Since it's so important to study, it's actually one of the only ways to get the really, really high band scores on the IELTS speaking test. If you want to get above a band score 7 in the speaking, you actually have to use something called idiomatic language. That's language that is, idioms, slang. It's not just less common, it's idioms and phrasal verbs and things like that. And you have to use that fairly consistently to get the higher band scores on IELTS. So study your vocab, practice your pronunciation with your friends and your teachers, and forget about grammar. Throw away those grammar books, study English online with me. I use English through TV, lots of IELTS prep, vocab, 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 vocab. How do I stop this phone? Vocab, 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 vocab. Vocab, vocab, vocab. Bye.